What's up, people? I'm Wale Ogunleye, head of sports and entertainment at UBS. But before that, I spent 11 years in the NFL tackling quarterbacks. Today, I have the privilege of helping hundreds of athletes and entertainers grow their businesses and investment portfolios. Welcome to Level Up, where we explore different financial literacy topics to equip you with the knowledge you need to be financially fit. Let's get started. On today's episode of Level Up, we discuss Money Management 101 and how budgeting will be the key to your financial freedom.
So I first started budgeting right after high school, and I pretty much taught myself, basically because I was going into college and I wanted to manage my expenses once I got into college.
On the third episode of Level Up, Money Management 101, our friend Sofia Huerta will lend her insights on the basics of money management.
Oh yeah, Sofia Huerta!
Sofia is a professional soccer player for the U.S. national soccer team. She is also the first woman to play for the U.S. and against the U.S. when she was representing Mexico.
Sophia, when did you learn about budgeting?
So to be honest, growing up, I really did not hear a lot about financial stuff at all from my parents. I mean, I think they were very conservative about that. And I was aware that, my parents did prioritize savings. So that's something I'm really thankful for. They prioritized that. I did see that from them, and that's something I definitely took on, and I prioritized saving my money for sure. But it wasn't something I was super knowledgeable about. And then once I started getting called in with the national team, when you start making some more money, you are recommended to find someone who can help you finance your money, help you invest your money. And immediately I wanted to get involved just because I did not know enough, and that wasn't something that backed me away from wanting to learn more. I actually was like, wow, I need to know more about this.
My first recollection of budgeting was when I was a young kid. My dad would give me $1, and I swear I thought that was $1 million when he did. But I would take a quarter or 50 cents and go buy a bunch of candy and save the other 50 cents for another time. And for me, that was my beginning of really what budgeting was. Did I know that's what I was doing? No, but that was probably when I started budgeting for the first time.
And so, with the national team, I was just introduced to my financial advisor, and he's been great. I've learned so much, how much you should save. All these questions I've been asked today, how much I should save, necessities versus wants, 401ks, so many things I didn't know about before. And so, I definitely was so appreciative that I was introduced to my financial advisor, and it's just helped a lot. And you realize the little things can really help. Again, where you're putting your money, is the interest rate big? Is it increasing, or is it just sitting there kind of not, doubling and becoming more, right? And so there were a lot of things I didn't know, and so asking for help was a big, big plus for me.
To dig a little bit deeper, let's hear from one of our advisors at UBS, Lamar Remy.
Thanks, Wale, for having me on this episode of Level Up, where we're talking Money Management 101. So my name's Lamar Remy, and I'm a client service associate for a private wealth team at UBS, which is the largest wealth management firm in the world. My specialty on the team is working with young athletes, entertainers, and musicians. Our team assists our clients with virtually everything with a dollar sign in their life. We help them grow, preserve, and in some cases transfer some of their wealth to causes and people that are near and dear to them. We do this through making a plan for your goals, managing your money, and any loans or insurance you may need, and even your everyday banking. We have extensive experience working with clients like you. In fact, I was a Division I tennis player and pursued a professional career. We have a lot of clients and friends who have gone through what you are experiencing, and everyone benefits from having a plan, including athletes. It's like physically preparing for a season and having an X's and O's game plan for a particular game. One of the principal rules is to have what we call a 50-30-20 budget, which is a great model to think about when allocating your earnings. In other words, half your take-home pay goes to necessities like rent or your cell phone bill. 30% goes toward your personal spending, such as entertainment, clothing, and eating out with friends. And lastly, 20% goes toward your future, which includes savings, paying down debt, and putting money away for your retirement. Distinguishing between what you want and what you need really helps you prioritize and realize where you may be wasting money and overspending.
Sophia, how did you establish the difference between a want and a need?
For sure, there are things that I really, really want, and I just have to kind of sit and think about whether they're going to be important to me in the next couple months or years, right? It's like, of course I can see something on Instagram or on social media and think, wow, I really want that. But then I also have to remember that saving my money is my priority, and there are definitely necessities like food, and for me, having experiences and spending time with friends, and that is something that I would like to do more than maybe spending money on clothes or shoes or whatnot. But definitely it's important to prioritize certain things and realize what's important to you or not. But again, saving half of your paycheck is a big one.
Did you know it's important to think about your money not only for the here and now, but for your future? Here are some of the things to think about, especially early in your career. 1. Build an emergency fund. It's important to expect the unexpected. If you're living without a safety net, you're living on the financial edge, hoping to get by without running into a crisis. Being prepared with an emergency fund gives you the peace of mind to tackle any of life's unexpected events without having any money worries. So 2. How much should you save? It's a good policy to have at least 6 months of expenses, such as rent, utility bills, or groceries set aside no matter your job status. 3. Start saving for retirement. Once you have your safety net, you can then begin investing in higher return assets, such as stocks and bonds, to grow your money for your long-term needs. We suggest saving at least 10 to 15% of your total income to ensure your same lifestyle in retirement. This can be done by putting your money into a 401k retirement account or an IRA to invest in the long run. And lastly, make your debt payments automatic. It's smartest to get rid of any debt, whether it be student loans or credit card debt, as soon as possible. Set up automatic payments to be deducted from your account so that you'll never miss a payment. The sooner you get rid of debt, the faster you can start contributing more to investing for your future.
My favorite part of the show. Let's head to the street for the question of the day.
Wale, when should I start budgeting?
Whenever you start to have an income or expenses is when you should start using a budget. Budgets can help you save money, avoid overspending, and pursue your financial goals. On this episode of Money Management 101, we talked about the foundation of finances, your budgeting, and why that's important to you. I don't care if you have $1 billion. If you spend $1 billion in one, you're broke. So understand, for your financial future, budgeting will be the cornerstone of your success. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Level Up. We'll see you next time.